Welcome to Lake TV's Community Spotlight Show, brought to you by the great folks at COMC, Central Ozarks Medical Center, where your health is their mission. So for the last few months, we've been focusing on the great shootout, the 34th annual shootout, and it is now in the books, the 34th annual. So we've got Captain Ron Duggan, we've got Leah Martin, the director of the shootout. Guys, thank you so much for getting up, because I know you're just completely worn out, and coming down and joining us for the wrap-up show.
Happy to be here.
Yeah. So if there's a word to wrap up this year's shootout, the one that came to mind for me was epic. Everything about this shootout was epic, whether it was the pre-events that you've been doing for 6 months, or the number of people that showed up Saturday and Sunday for the actual shootout. It was just amazing. So first of all, your first full shootout as the director. How you doing? Are you still alive and well? You gonna come back?
Someone asked me yesterday if I was tired. I said, shootout tired is a whole different level.
Yeah.
But I'm good.
There's a joy.
I've had more than 5 hours sleep last night, so it's a
First
good day.
time in a while, probably, right?
Yes.
I noticed when we were at the Hall of Fame dinner on Tuesday, you got a standing ovation.
Yeah. That was
How about that? I mean, usually the director doesn't get a standing ovation, but I think people noticed what an amazing job that you've done.
That was kind of them, not necessary, but it was nice.
Yeah, well, and of course they also gave Ron Duggan a standing ovation, just because he's Captain Ron, I think. So. Okay, so you guys, are you worn out? Does putting on a shootout just drain you of everything, basically?
You can't see the lines under our eyes.
He asked me if I had a voice before we started this,
Right.
and I talked. He was like, "Oh, well, you sound like me." So
Yeah.
We're a little foggy this morning.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's like Leah said, it's a whole different level of tired.
Oh,
But
man.
it's a good tired.
Yes, it is, and you know, you guys won't be able to announce how much money was raised for a little while.
Right.
There's a whole check presentation thing, but was it a good year as far as money coming in? And it all goes to charity.
yeah, I mean, every event, the poker run did 100,000 this year. T-shirt sales beat their year by 100,000 this year. I
Wow.
mean, every event has, everything that we've done just has kind of grown or doubled. So
Yeah, it seems like
Yeah.
this event just keeps growing year after
yeah,
year.
it was a big year.
Unbelievable. All right.
year.
So Saturday, let's start out with talking about the racing on Saturday and Sunday. There's so much more that goes into it than that. But Saturday was incredible. I mean, you had almost a full day of racing, great weather until very late in the day, some great times and everything. It was a fantastic day until the storms came late in the day.
Yeah, we had 146 runs in on Saturday. If we would have kept going, we'd have definitely hit our record for the day. So
Amazing. 146 by that time.
Yeah.
That's got to be a record for one day, maybe, right?
by that time, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we would have gotten more in, but the crowd was so long, all the way down to Pirates Point. A lot of the guys they'll power down right after the finish line and then turn off.
Yeah.
They were going all the way down the course and then turning off because the crowd was so huge.
Yeah.
They didn't have a way to get off the course.
Yeah.
I mean, past the crowd. And so they were going all the way down by Pirates Point, which was causing little delays on how fast we could run the boats. And so now Sunday was different. They were running boats like in every minute and 50 seconds, I think. But on Saturday, it was more like, 3 minutes because of the length of the crowd that was out there.
There's so many. And we've never seen that before, right? That the boats just
Not
go
all the way down to Pirates Point, no.
Yeah.
No, and not that deep. I went out on a shuttle. My husband runs Start, and I went out to visit the kids and go out there for a little bit. And I literally, I couldn't find the Start boat, and it's not a small boat, but there was just so many boats and so deep. And then I thought that was a Start boat, and then it wasn't. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it just kept going and going. So
I was going to ask you if you were able to make your way out to the Start boat, because that's where you've been the last few years.
Yeah, for like a total of 20 minutes. And then I asked for the extension, and then I had to get back off the boat. So
Wow.
we were hoping before the storm came, we were going to extend racing on Saturday, and we definitely gotten a lot more runs in.
Did you see that storm coming Saturday? Because for me, I mean, last time I looked at the forecast, there was no rain in the forecast.
I saw it coming, but it wasn't as big as what it was. We thought we were going to get a little small rain, but I mean, it was torrential.
Oh, it was. At our place, we got 1.5 inches in like 30 minutes. It was
Yeah.
crazy.
We had so much water running through the volunteer tent that you couldn't even step over it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It was huge. Yeah,
Yeah.
we have another sand pile down in our parking lot. New beach.
And then on Sunday, you got some great runs in early in the day. The storms came a little bit sooner on Sunday, but as you said, you got more runs in because you were able to get them off faster, probably.
Yeah, I think we got
Really,
80 runs.
something, yeah.
80
Yeah.
runs in on Sunday morning.
Yeah.
That's over half of what you had the whole day on Saturday. And then the thing everybody's going to remember about the 34th annual shootout, the guy falling out of the boat and the boat going in circles. That was unreal.
Yeah. We're still thankful that he was
Oh,
okay. And
Yeah.
And the
Nobody
boat
the
got
was-
hurt.
responders were great. I mean, they were on it and out there and keeping it away from the crowds. And I
Yeah.
think that's what we want everybody to remember is
Right.
how
You know,
amazing our safety crew is.
That
here.
thing turned out about as perfect as it could have because
Yeah.
the driver wasn't hurt, none of the spectators were hurt, nothing was hit, and everybody got to see what those fire rescue people do. I mean, how do you stop a wayward boat?
Do you know how they stopped it?
I heard they took a water cannon and shut off the throttle.
Right. Hit it into reverse, and then it died when it went into reverse.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that shows the whole world how important those guys are.
Yeah, they were
and
on
they were
it.
using the water to control where it was going as well to keep it going
I was
around with the
wondering
boat
how they
circling.
were keeping it.
Yeah, they
where
were. That's a
wanted it.
lot of pressure. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a lot of pressure.
And that's always a scary moment, and you always worry about things like that. What happens if the boat gets out of control or
Yeah.
something? And they were all over it, so it was great.
Well, and on the TV broadcast on Lake TV, I saw them interviewing the fire rescue guys that were there. And have you done this before? Oh yeah, we've done that before. It's like, okay, well that again, such a huge reason why the shootout is important because shootout charity money goes to allow those guys to do that and to train to do that and everything.
Well, and that's the most important thing that we do out there is try to keep everybody safe, And so there's a lot that goes into that safety training.
Yeah.
And a lot of it's just for the shootout, and with the dive teams and all those kind of things. So, they went into action and like they were trained.
Yeah.
So
And that's
Absolutely.
recognized really worldwide. So something that was fun for me this year as the new director, I sent a screenshot of the email. But the Coast Guard reached out to see our safety plans and how we keep the spectators safe for a big event that happens on the East Coast. And they just said, you guys are the standard for safety on this event. And so that was great for me to hear. Obviously, had nothing to do with that.
Right.
That was all of their work, but that's a pretty cool email to get.
That is a great,
They needed,
But again, and those fire rescue guys could not have done that if they hadn't had shootout charity money to train them to do that.
Right. So, I mean, that's when I first started, I said, Ron, what's your why? And he told me, well, you can say it, but,
that's okay.
he said, I went to Mid-County Fire and he took me to the dive trailer and said, every single piece of equipment on this was purchased by shootout funds.
Wow.
I mean, that's huge when you're looking at that. I mean, that's used in rescue for families and kids and wayward boats and all of those things. So it is huge to know that.
And that's what's neat about
that's what's
going. We
purchased.
go out to Coffin Bend, and the first thing they do before they have their meeting is give me a tour of the station and say, Shootout bought this truck, and they bought this, and they bought that. And,
Wow.
And so then when you realize the impact that you have.
Yep, absolutely. Okay, so this is our shootout wrap-up show. The 34th annual shootout is in the books. Captain Ron, Leah Martin. We'll have more with them right after this. At COMC, your health is our mission. Central Ozarks Medical Center is growing in our community with a new dental location to serve you in Eldon and a new location in Loring. COMC also makes your children a priority with a mobile dental unit serving schools in rural areas where access can be a challenge. COMC also offers OBGYN, sports medicine, pediatric, and behavioral health care. Get more info on how COMC can help you at centralozarks.org. COMC, where your health is our mission. Winter, spring, summer, or fall, Lake TV's got it all. We think it's hot stuff when things cool down. We spring into action when things start warming up. Of course, summer is one big, huge shootout on Lake TV. And we fall in love all over again when autumn rolls around. Winter, spring, summer, or fall, Lake TV's got it all.
Want to know what's happening at the lake? Join Bob Spicer for Lake TV's Weekend at the Lake to get the inside scoop. Catch Weekend at the Lake several times a day starting Thursdays on Lake TV.
And welcome back to Lake TV's Community Spotlight Show, brought to you by the great folks at COMC, Central Ozarks Medical Center. It is our shootout wrap-up show. It's kind of hard to believe it's over, even though it's, it's been going on.
It's not really over.
It's never over.
No,
right?
It's never over.
Well, when we noticed that, we had you on the Spotlight Show here back in spring because the shootout is getting so big. It's become a year-round thing, and you're having events pretty much all the way from the spring through the shootout weekend, and I guess that's going to continue.
Yeah, we're absolutely going to do, actually the events are already posted for next year's dates, already posted online. So we'll keep the treasure hunt and run with your brung and float your boat the same weekend in June, which is that first weekend, and continue to grow from there. Actually, May 13th, I think, is the golf tournament too, so it's a little bit earlier.
Yep.
Yeah, so we'll knock those out and hopefully have really great showings for that again. Those were big events this year. So.
I've already got you written in to do a springtime spotlight show to start promoting those events.
Perfect.
So that will be fantastic. What, outside of the racing on Saturday and Sunday and the huge crowds and the huge television numbers and Facebook numbers and everything, what is the biggest event outside of that? Is it the poker run? Is it the party on the street party on the strip?
I guess it depends on what you're asking for. If you're asking for volume, I would say the street party number of people.
Party.
That was intense this year. The officers were sitting at the front, and I think the 15,000 is kind of the most we've ever had. And they said, Leah, you had to have 20 to 25,000 people here, and they just kept going. I remember at 9 o'clock we were on a golf cart helping the fire department had called and asked us to help get somebody up, and they just kept coming in. I'm like, how am I going to get these people off the strip by 10 o'clock? Yeah. They're just still coming.
Wow.
So it was an amazing event. And then normally, you kind of see the congregation of people around in the middle of the strip, but it just never stopped all the way to the bottom. It just never stopped. It was just packed.
Well,
and the poker run's huge too.
Yes.
And,
It is.
it's hard to put a number on that because a lot of people are going to the restaurants where all the poker boats are coming in. So we know how many poker run people are involved, in 700 or 800 or so, in all the boats. But then all the people that are going to the restaurants too to see the poker run boats. Yep. So it's hard to put a number on that.
Well, and the spectators watching on the water.
Well, that and from the shore. Because I know
absolutely.
a lot of folks hang out on the dock. They
We used
watch
to
the
do
boats
the same
fly
thing.
by.
Yeah.
Well, and I have to plug this. So Nick with Big Dick's Halfway In texted me, and he put some jars out to raise money for shootout charities.
Yep.
And I raised $1,100 during the poker run just by people coming in, just helping to support, wanting to support. So we didn't ask them to do that, and I thought that was amazing.
Isn't it amazing how the whole community starts chipping in like that?
Yeah.
And speaking of that, and we've only got a minute and a half left here, but I heard you say on the television broadcast, 800 volunteers this year. That's unreal.
Unreal.
We ran out of T-shirts, so
Right.
I've already sent notes. I talked to our T-shirt lady this morning, and I already sent notes yesterday on my numbers for next year. So
Yeah.
while it's fresh.
750 T-shirts wasn't quite enough this year.
We'll order extra, and then you run out. Yeah.
Right.
But it's that village again. It's those people that really make it happen.
Yes.
And you got to have good leadership, and you guys are that. But if you didn't have 800 people out there giving of their time and all that,
Well, it wouldn't happen.
it couldn't happen.
No.
Yeah.
And
It'd be a
really, we had
mess.
nothing to do. On Wednesday, really starting after the street party on Wednesday night, I was like, Ron, what do I do? Saturday, what do I do? I don't know what to do with myself right now.
Oh, my goodness.
Because they were just
But she
doing
was
their
on the
thing
phone
and
the
just
whole
rolling.
time.
Of course, yeah.
Putting out fires. That's all you got to do the whole weekend is just put out fires.
Okay, and I was going to
Those
mention,
guys just do it.
I was going to mention, don't have time, but the passing of the torch. We saw Brad Harrington's daughter take over, and Taylor Sissom come in and take over, and we don't have the time to talk about it, but that was so cool to see this year. Okay, so we are out of time. It's Captain Ron, it's Leah Martin. Shootout 34 is in the book. Shootout 35, you're already working on it. Here it comes, and we'll see them soon enough on Lake TV. And good luck this basketball season with your basketball team.
Appreciate it.
Thank you so much for joining us. That's your Shootout wrap-up show right here on Lake TV.